Well, here we are. Let me just turn that off. Yep, time for more Sonic Frontiers. You can just call me Stent. And honestly, I'm not certain of what there is to be excited about, mostly just because, well, it's Chaos Island. I just almost completely forgot. Just, forgive me for a sec. Forgive me. Actually, no, I think I did intend to put the to keep the soap shoes on. So let's just carry on. Let's just carry on. I'm probably just going to do basically what I did last time with Ares Island, just go for story as opposed to completion, because I'm just going to be throwing that out there once more. With regards to me having the habit of really going at it with the collectibles and whatnot, I feel as though I mostly end up doing that with games I like. And this one is one which I is fitting that monicum less and less. So, apologies if the commentary once again is kind of lacking. I will say there are at least some interesting little things like the UFO thing to stir things up here. Because this game could desperately use the variety. They made it literally as a Tales fan the series a highlight because of that. It was fairly positive about what did the Tales in the segment. Get curious as to how the narrative... Oh, of course. So, yeah, I can imagine you being quite excited in that regard, because, yeah. Throughout the week with various, very sort of analyses videos, it just sort of reinforced that not only is Tails arguably my favorite character, he's arguably the character that I relate to the most. Mostly just with his, Is there a way... Do I just have to, do this incorrectly and then just wait for it to respawn? It would be nice if there was a way for me to just instantly restart this, but whatever. We'll do this properly this time. With the evil Tetris blocks. It's like, well... Once again, it's something to add to the variety, because let's face it, at this point the game could certainly need it. It's a good being in simple fashion to go to his potential man. Yeah, that is an interesting question, though, as to which Sonic character exudes the most sort of is the most worthy of the potential man label, because obviously there's Tails. I'm fairly certain Sonic could potentially wear it. I'm fairly certain that, well, obviously Silver is the other sort of main one. Would you say there's any others who really sort of fit the whole potential man title? I feel that could basically go for every single character in this series, honestly. Also, I haven't really done that much fishing. I suppose it doesn't really matter. I mean, I suppose that's one way I could go about it, right? So we could just make this into a fishing episode. Its Tails is not even to buy a Silver isn't relevant enough to be potential. Yeah, that's fair. You know, the way I've thought about it, so I'm going back through Metal Gear Solid 3. Silver is like if Raiden never got his Metal Gear Solid 4 glow up. It's like he became basically Gray Fox 2.0 in MGS4. And then everybody basically forgave him for basically everything he represented in MGS2, so it's just a shame, because it's funny as well, because both of them were also voiced by Quentin Flynn. Or at least were voiced by Quentin Flynn. Now Silver's basically just, I don't remember the voice actor's name. I just know at the very least I'm fairly certain it's the same one from Team Sonic Racing who also voiced Kirito. That's like the one thing that that's like the one thing I know him as, which is a shame. It's like at one point they had all these actual good voice actors, and now... I mean, I'm saying that. I am still genuinely shocked they somehow got Matt Mercer to play Espio. It's like, that's just something that I wasn't expecting. That just seems like something that would ever happen. Potential Man meets Gary Stuman. Yeah, because, again, I'm fairly certain I already mentioned this. Power creep doesn't exist because of Silver. Oh, now we know we're getting into certain territories when we're getting reskins of previous enemies. He's basically Ninja again, except now he's in pink pants. Pink. They do look like yoga pants, though, don't they? At least from where I was stood. They did. Okay, so I wasn't the only one who was imagining that. That's good to know. Bop. Well, there are some definitely interesting little chats here you could potentially do with Tails, but at the same time, it's like they don't have updated subtitles, so what's the point? You know what, since I may as well go off and do this cyberspace level right here. I remember Chaos Island also having some pretty weak cyberspace levels to boot. So that's gonna be fun. Let's have a look-see. I can't exactly remember which one this is, so, maybe it's Green Forest? I think it's an Adventure 2 one. Again, just make me wish I was playing a better game. Okay, yeah, it is Green Forest. Like, hey, you remember when the island was about to blow up? Remember when there was a whole bunch of this level you could, like, skip, like, running up that tree? Well, too bad. Somehow we took an Adventure 2 level and made it even more automated. There is no justice in this world. Okay, that was pretty... Doing that is pretty fun, though. Just scything through multiple enemies at once. Just... I don't get why they think just allowing us to do that is, inhibiting it anyway. I mean, obviously, most people would say the homing attack as is still something which is, an archaic means of dealing with an issue which, should have been updated like decades ago, and I wholeheartedly agree. Because I did have admittedly seeing a fair few videos going over sort of classic design philosophy today. One thing that they mentioned a lot was what they call the Batnik bounce, where you basically jump on an enemy and due to different sets of mechanics with the physics and whatnot, it would allow you to basically potentially jump even higher than you normally would be able to, which the homing attack was supposed to be a remedy for the lack of, but it feels as though one of the few games which came close to returning Batnik bouncing was weirdly enough colors. I can't help but feel as though I did colors kind of dirty, to be honest. Because it would show them they're already short level design. Yeah, it's Green Forest without the sauce. That's another thing. Just... I know I've sort of been growing increasingly sort of anti-homing attack as things have gone on. I'm sort of curious and more now to go back and check stuff like Sonic 1 and CD, where... I suppose for context, a lot of the stuff that was going on about is analyzing how essentially the design philosophy of various Sonic games basically deviated ever since Sonic 2, with its greater emphasis on speed and not so much platforming. Because I know that there's a lot of people that aren't exactly too keen on CD and Sonic 1. And I suppose Superstars to less an extent. I mean, obviously, nobody really likes to talk about Superstars anymore, which is kind of a shame because I actually got the inkling to play it a little bit more recently, for the first time in like years, and honestly, that one just makes me sad now, because like you got all these like super fun levels, which nobody talks about because it's Superstars and everybody just thinks about the boss fights, which is fair because they're terrible. It's still just a damn shame that you got a game with supposedly all these fun levels, with this massive albatross. 2 is faster, 3 has more in-depth level. Yeah. It feels more so that 3 was going more sort of back towards what Sonic 1 and CD were doing, with more, I suppose, methodical platforming, where I know a lot of people sort of scoff at the concept of a Sonic game where you kind of have to go slow, but it's just not one of those things I can't help but feel was sort of lost in the source as time went on. Just, it's one of those things that was lost in translation, the fact that in the early days, the speed in these Sonic games was sort of earned. Whereas in Sonic 2 especially, it's, you very much had all these various segments which were highly focused on getting you as fast as possible. Chemical Plant comes to mind, with all its various slopes and whatnot. It's really interesting going back and doing those two at some point. Level design 3 is very complimented the speed to the point where they nailed so well that... Yeah, that is also fair. That is also fair. Plus, with Sonic 3, you also have a whole bunch of, arguably the best power-ups in the series with, the elemental shields. Still boggles my mind they never brought those back. Outside of, like, Generations and Mania. There's only those two. Only those two have the elemental shields, when they're arguably the best power-ups in the series. I think I got a fair few wrenches under my belt now. Let's go talk to our good old friend Amadeus McPro II. That just looks like he's just doing a static pose. Just like static animations in a test level. Maybe that's the point. It's like, could it be that this is going into sort of a meta-narrative? Probably not. Oh. I will say, though, the Coco challenges they added to this stage. It definitely feels as though the Coco challenges definitely improve over time. Like, the ones here generally are pretty good. The ones on Uranus Island, I'd say, are the best. Like here, it's like, look at this. I mean, obviously it's not much, but hey. This feels actually kind of fun and not a bunch of bull dust. At least I'm not sure how I feel about the tricks of him. I feel it just sort of interrupts more than anything, where it's like you tried to do semi-precise platforming at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and instead Sonic just feels the need to just do a bunch of flippy dippies. It's not a good look. I mean, I'm not certain as to whether or not this is strictly a mod thing, but it's not something I necessarily think was a good thing to add. It's a shame as well, because, you know, someone who really likes Adventure 2 and its more sort of points for style approach, sort of going fast and looking good while doing it, I really do wish that they sort of expanded more upon that. I've been thinking a fair bit more as to what I'd want to see in sort of a my preferred Sonic game. Obviously, it's sort of a work in progress. Anyways, let's go and let's finally rescue Tails. He seems so much less happy this time. Ah, dying! Obviously, Tails catches on right away. So much placations this time around. Interesting, oh, he just sort of disappears. Ah, dying! Yep, he is literally just dying. I do find that kind of, an interesting, direction, though. That it's more so just sort of an exposition dump rather than, Tails being where that Sonic, you're literally dying in front of me, stop it. It's like, what the fluff is wrong with you? You're literally dying in front of me, Sonic, stop it. I feel as though I really need to get... It's been a long time, I feel, since I've done the Scottish Tales thing, which is a shame, because I have definitely missed it. It's just... I've missed the opportunity... I've missed having the opportunity to actually voice these characters myself. It's like, I don't know, I feel as though I had a good time with like, the Chronicle streams, all things considered, because that was like a big main thing, and also Battle. This makes me think, at some point this year I'm definitely going to have to stream the Rivals games. Because that also has mostly text dialogue. Oh, and Rush Adventure as well. Not a whole lot of... Yeah, exactly, it's mostly just exposition, which I suppose is what Tales was known for in the late 2000s. I guess we really are going back to those times, eh? The game that allegedly fixes silver. Yeah, that's definitely going to be an interesting one. That's definitely going to be an interesting one to, go back and look at, because... Fun fact, I've never actually played Rivals. I never had a PlayStation Portable. I was a DS boy back in the Halcyon days. Before everything went wrong. I do remember specifically on this island as well, there was a whole bunch of, various annoying enemies. Also, yeah, there's, just 2D sections everywhere. Which definitely feel kind of ham-fisted here, not gonna lie. I'm guessing this... Yeah, there he is, just casually just warps in out of nowhere. I feel this is definitely one of the more annoying enemies, mostly just due to the fact that it's so huge that you kind of have to go like a bajillion miles away to de-aggro him. Also, yeah, I can just clip right through him. Alright, we may as well do the fortress thing. It's basically a super-duper version of Squid. It's like, oh hey, it's another glorified quick-step section. That's another thing as well. I do kind of feel sad that I get this overwhelming sense of complacency, all things considered, with this series, because you'd think that after so long, they would try to evolve how rail grinding works, but this just basically feels exactly how it was in Forces, which is basically how it was in Generations, which is basically how it was in Unleashed. Which may or may not have been derived from Shadow. Just... I don't know, I feel as though rail grinding definitely needs something... Some extra zest. I kind of like the idea of bringing out the balance mechanic from SA2, though I imagine not a lot of people would be on par with that. The grinding in Shadow I thought was pretty neat. Even if, again, it was mostly just, any sense of the actual... That's the thing, I mostly just like, the SA2 grinding on principle. With the fact that it sort of, more suitably emulates the actual grinding in the real world. Where you actually have to take account about... It just, really gives off more of that extreme sports kind of, feel to it, as opposed to here where it's, again, basically just a glorified quick-step section. Really, some of these start to have... There we go, these ones have timers now, as far as I recall. No problem. You would have thought that I feel these particular tile puzzles are the ones which are the most common at the end of the day. I'm fairly certain they just pop up on every single island after a fashion. I'm fairly certain we can... There's a Tails here we can speak to. Let's go say hello. Yeah, just somewhere in here amongst all the sulfur. This place must smell rancid. He's like a ghost. They are driving the Cocos around like a fluffing Mazda. Even though I'm fairly certain they were like water creatures, weren't they? This whole Coco / ancient things I still find kind of confusing, admittedly. Nope, don't want to be in the 2D section. Yeah, this is part of why a lot of people don't really like Chaos Island, just how rampant the 2D is. Yeah, there's a ramp here, so it's like all of it, you just going along your sort of merry way, then all of a sudden you just end up in a 2D segment and you're just trying to get out of it for the most part. That's the sort of experience I mostly equate with Chaos Island, which is funny because I'm fairly certain. What am I saying? Just going back here, especially after the Shadgen's version of Chaos Island. I mean, I know it wasn't strictly amazing, but I certainly feel this place sort of worked better as a level, which is sort of why, admittedly, I've sort of been turned off to the prospect of hub worlds in this series. I know, maybe it's just me, but I do still kind of prefer the sort of level-by-level basis you go through the levels with stuff like Adventure 2, Heroes and Shadow. I think it's just more so a me thing, in the fact that I have a certain preference with regards to games in this series, mostly from a certain era. Like I keep saying, the GameCube era is arguably one of my favorites with regards to the Sonic series, which, now when I think about it, it's an interesting query as to whether or not, well, which would be considered the worst of Sonic console runs. Would it be something like the Wii U, or would it probably be, honestly, I could see the Switch holding that moniker, honestly. Tales of ghosts for something strange sleeping in your bed, let me tell you. What are you rambling on about now? Should I be worried? Yeah, I'm pretty certain this is how you do it. I'm not sure how many of these I'm actually going to do, though, since I'm not certain, just for completion's sake, whether it's strictly necessary, just given how fast I can go across the map. I'd say Switch Hero was a... Yeah, because thinking about it, you have Forces, you have this, you have Superstar... Yeah, Sonic Boom was Wii U, Val. So yeah, in that regard, yeah, Wii U I'd probably say was the worst in that aspect. It's like the Wii U was such a forgettable console, you didn't even realize. I'll forgive you just on that notion, Val. You are forgiven for now. You get to live another day. Brain fried. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Admittedly, with regards to these particular Frontier streams, my head's not exactly been in the best place either. It just feels as though there's not really much to say. It's something that I do kind of appreciate about some of the older games with the more stage-by-stage basis in regards to the fact there's just more variety. Also, yeah. Real nice. Not sure if that's just a mod manager thing, but, you know, it's funny because I did actually get way more out of use of the Wii U than I did the Switch. Yeah. Funny that. What's this now? What's this here? I'm guessing we just got to, loop this. There we go. Looks like we have to activate all 3 switches. It just makes me miss heroes, man. This is like, whilst, obviously, Heroes definitely has a lot of flaws in of itself, it just feels more easy to just pick up and play. That's something that I do kind of like about a lot of these Sonic games, just, the sort of pick up and play nature of them. It's like, I know a lot of people tend to, value time trials, which is probably where, a lot of the replayability, like, for games like Sonic 1, CD, and Superstars comes in. I feel, admittedly, I'm more sort of, well, obviously more of a casual player, if that makes any sense. And more so, I guess, with a fair few of these games more on a bit of the one-and-done basis. Or maybe it's just because I'm a little worried about the prospect of getting properly into one of these games, mostly just because of what happened with, playing stuff like Adventure 2, where, like, I got all the emblems, I got all the A ranks, you know, A-ranked Green Hill, and it's like, now what? I feel as though I've done everything there is to do in Adventure 2. I mean, I suppose that could also be said for Adventure 1 as well. Honestly, the whole lack of commentary thing is admittedly afraid to do any bigger open world games. Yeah, which is admittedly why I'm probably going to avoid these in the future. Because it is, admittedly a fair bit of dead air. Oh hey, it's Sky Sanctuary Modern. It's like, hey, you remember when you remember good levels, right? Well, here's supposedly one of them. Again, this just makes me wish I was playing Generations instead. Maybe I will go back and play Generations at some point, but honestly, I feel as though in terms of Sonic games I intend to stream next, I feel there's a fair few different directions I could go. The main one possibly being given Superstars another go, because it has been a fair bit since I played that as well, though odds are playing that again is going to be a... I'm probably going to go about it a little bit differently, to say the least. You'll probably see what I mean if I play it, but there's also... I've also been hearing a fair bit of good stuff about this whole new Sonic Horizons thing. I kind of want to give that a shot, or, you know, maybe I'll just take a break from Sonic games entirely and just, play something else, like I have, that Tori game, which is supposedly pretty good, or, oh, nice. Yeah, just generally speaking, this still, even with mods, this still feels genuinely, worse to play compared to Generation. Just... I can't help but feel as though I really sort of underappreciate Generation. Just, it feels as though it gets so much right, weirdly enough. It's like it gets so much right, you don't even realize how much right it gets. I'm fairly certain that makes sense, right? Also nice to see this this walkway doesn't collapse this time around. Really paying attention to detail there. Ideally, you want to do a decent chunk of side content off stream while saving bigger story stuff for on stream. The problem, of course, is that often I do accidentally do main. Yeah, that sort of is the problem with these sort of these sorts of streams, isn't it? You know, you might say it's one of those things where you kind of want to get into a proper flow state, and then you sort of really get into the game, and it's like, oh, I accidentally did story content. Guess whole stream's kind of screwed now. I'm guessing for that reason as well, I'm probably not going to go back and play Scarlet and Violet. There's just that one thing I can't help but notice in general with regards to these whole open world games. I can't help but feel that they mostly just lend themselves more so to one and done experiences, because do you really want to go through and do all those tick boxes again? Do you really want to go back and do that? Like, even with Xenoblade, the prospect of going back and streaming Xenoblade might be a good idea to take a break from... Yeah. I think I might. I think I might. Just, might be a good opportunity to, try out some Sonic adjacent stuff. You would Dawn Trail him out. Literally was wanting to do a lock it off. I was driving to play 14 because I wanted to do it on stream. I was too busy. Yeah, I definitely feel that. I feel as though I had a fair bit of that feeling as well when I was streaming Dawn Trail. But there's an interesting question now that I think about it, as to whether or not I should stream Evercold. It's like, I am certainly looking forward to the new sort of evolved gameplay styles. Want to see how that ticks. Think you should... Yeah, alright. Though again, I imagine it's going to be a lot of dead air there again, because it is also kind of open world. I may as well just say it right now, with regards to my thoughts on Evercold, all things considered, cautiously optimistic. It's like I don't want to just go blindly and like, oh hey, it's all gonna be fixed now, and then just be let down immediately once again. Because we all had high hopes for Dawn Trail when it was coming out, and then look what happened. I'm gonna manage to kind of make it work, just, you know, don't go A for carrot hunting on stream. Yeah, that's basically how you do it. You don't bother with the whole A for carrot. I want to understand it was mixed and don't trail from. Yeah, yeah. I definitely feel as though over time my thoughts on it have had certainly soured, though, unfortunately. It's especially with a lot of the whole community manager drama. I'll just put it like that. There's sort of drama around that. Just I'm hoping, just hoping that things are going to get better, but yeah. Blind optimism never really did anyone any good. Also, real nice background here. Like, you know, we got this cool, platforming grind rail segment over, the clouds. What do we have in the background? Nothing. It's basically just nothing but clouds. Like, even Sky Troops had a lot more felt a lot more varied in its, vistas compared to this. Because at the very least, you know, you had all the warships just flying around in the background, really sort of made you feel immersed in the whole thing, as opposed to here where... And I guess everything's supposed to feel kind of dead, but... I don't know, it just doesn't really necessarily lead itself into being all that interesting. Oh, hamster wheel. Now there's free bars, how scathing. Yeah, I think people have also pointed this out in various memes and whatnot, just... the fact that Sonic is supposedly dying here, and yet he's still able just to fling himself around and doing all these funny flips and whatnot. It's kind of surreal. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, woo, yeah, you, yeah, woo! And then it's just like, ah, dying. Also, yeah, a fair few of the enemies just in general here I remember being quite annoying. Like these bird things. Where am I? Okay. Where is... Oh, it's right over there. Okay. Just gotta, just grin and bear it. Just gotta get on over there. As I generally just remember a lot of the, segment... That's another thing I'm not too fond of with Chaos Island as well, just how, you have all these, like, separated islands, which is kind of annoying to just sort of jump back and forth from. Feels as though, at the very least, I'm keeping up with memory tokens. At least I hope. Yeah, it definitely didn't want me to be in 3D for this. Can I make it work, though? That's the important question. The answer is yes. And just like that, we got our first emerald. I do gotta wonder as well how exactly Frontiers 2 is going to act. Or perform, rather, because I can certainly imagine that outside the boss fights, if Frontiers 2 actually does live up to the promise, it's definitely going to basically make it so there's no reason to come back to this. Oh hey! It's that time again, it's that time to be harassed by the Titan. With Bowser clouds up in the distance. Why does he have dreads? Sonic, that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, I remember this particular segment being quite annoying. I mean, I suppose it's kind of clever, just like, oh hey, now we get to have a chase sequence this time on a squid. How do you like them apples? These ones aren't meant to be eaten. Oh, nice, I don't even get the spin dash here. It's like, the one thing that might have made this enjoyable, and it's like, nope, not here. I will say, well, just having all these platforms here in this sort of chase segment, very sort of reminiscent of Stardust Speedway. I kind of approve. Annoying as it is, this is like, the general concept I approve of. Even if for some reason my my boost just keeps going. Okay, so it's after every jump. I don't really like how the boost kind of works in this game. It is basically just a glorified run button. And it just sort of, I think it may just be in this instance right here, doesn't really lend itself to flow all that well. Whereas like, you know, you're running and then you jump and then you're back to basically walking again. It just doesn't feel good. Yeah, that definitely looks like something out of Nier Automata in the background, doesn't it? It's like, what were the ancients doing with something so garish looking? I gotta wonder. I hate that the 2D sections actually give you boost. Okay, so it is the 2D, just the 2D sections. Another reason why people hate this island, I suppose. And the 2D sections in general. And then this island again because of the 2D sections. Okay, later, I suppose. Well, we're here now, I guess. Just on this island with all the funny tubes going off it. And Death Egg Robot. Death Egg Sentinel. Nice. It's like you had the perfect opportunity not to bring up anything from Forces, and yet they just couldn't help themselves. And I certainly hope that this supposed redemption arc from Infinite pans out in any way, shape, or form. You know, it better. You know, heaven forbid there's actually something worthwhile coming back to Forces. Oh, we're back here again. Oh. Yeah, honestly, this just reminds me of... Oh, I've already messed that up. Yeah, honestly, these just remind me a whole bunch of the ice block puzzles from Pokemon Emerald. I don't know why I specified Emerald. Okay, so you can't jump. You can't go diagonal. Behold, I am the guy from the ad. Okay, I think I got it now. Gives you like 2 minutes of this as well. There we go. Also got to deal with the squid jump scares here, I think. Alright, let's go and fight Squid. Let's go fight him on his Laffy Taffy, his purple Laffy Taffy of death. Get over here, you. Hey, I'm talking to you. Come down here and say that. And I guess, at the very least, there is sort of a justification for Squid being here, given they actually had it in a cutscene for once. Here we go. Oh yeah, it also has more health this time. Not that that's gonna help. Let's see. Okay, all the way over here. Also, Purple Tower. I'm not sure if it's just, due to, a thing with mods, but I don't remember Excavator here actually being more purple. I do kind of like that change, because I don't necessarily remember the robots here on the robots here on Chaos Island necessarily being all that, different compared to... Oh, can I just... No. Unless... Oh, so close. I thought I could get across there. Maybe I just need a little bit of extra height. Oh yeah, another fun fact of the ice here, where you basically can't do anything on it except, apparently the drop dash works. I don't know either. No, that's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it all. Yeah, admittedly, spin dashing up here is still pretty fun. Let's see, can I launch myself from here? The answer is yes. Yeah, woo, 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 yeah. Yep, gotta love the trick system. It's like, okay, I'm done doing tricks. Can I land out? Nope, more tricks. You have not finished your trick exam, young man. Camera! Ace. Well, at the very least, I am... There we go. It's not the intended way of how you're supposed to do it, obviously, but I don't care. Obviously, you're supposed to go through that whole mechanism before you're able to come here, but, that's the power of Spin Dash, I guess. Here, have some more spanners. Yeah, unfortunately, Tails, I don't think they run on AAAs or mains electricity. Oh, I think you got some of the work at least. Also, yeah, I'm fairly certain this is like the only instance in this entire game of what is essentially a motion comic. After seeing a fair few of the cutscenes for MGS Peace Walker, I can't help but feel I kind of wish the Sonic series did this more. I mean, I reckon at the very least it would save on budget. Well, yeah, it basically is just a motion comic. It's like, they're known for having comic artists and a long-running comic series. It's like, put the two and two together. I guess this particular island, as opposed to any of the other ones we've been on previously.
何を伝えようとしているんだ？
ここには不釣り合いな技術。
Very insightful tales. Honestly, I think it's time to go back and do the Death Egg Sentinel, but first, let's have a look around this island a little bit more. I don't think I've been around this particular block affair, but yep, there we go, there we go. Oh. This is like the third one of these I've come across, like, already. Just something else, please. Why are there so many of these? Okay, I managed to make it work. So far, this dialect of Tales is super dry. It's modular. Yeah, exactly. It's, again, very on brand for late 2000s Tales. You know, for those of us who have played likes of 06. Let me just see if I could... let's see if Tails has anything interesting to say here. I kind of want to talk to Tails a little bit because he is my favorite. It's just taken me a little bit to sort of acknowledge that, honestly. Because again, he's just been done so dirtily in the 2010s.
僕たちすごく高いところにいるんだね。雲海のせいでどのくらい高いかわからないけど。
これ以上高いとエンジェルアイランドにぶつかるかもな。人が住んだり作業するには過酷な。
Hey Lois, this reminds me of that time we went to Angel Island. Here, Sonic, can you please just stop for once?
環境を見る限り居住エリアではないと思う。なんだか軍事的な前線基地みたいな。
So, a military front line against basically a moon. Like, for all their advanced technology, the ancients, I don't think were necessarily all that smart. And then again, I suppose they, well, we'll see. We'll see. I kind of want to save a lot of the whole sort of ancients lore for the final part, which I'm guessing is mostly just going to be me going through both Rhea and Uranus. At least that's the plan. Yeah, it's like if you basically just... Oh. I don't think I'm allowed to go that way. That's another annoying thing about these islands, where it's like, I'm here, but I need to be over there. Well, how do I get there? You have to go, like, out of your way across all these other islands in order to get back to the mainland. So it's like, Well, another cyberspace stage. Let's have a look with this one. I remember there being a particular stage in this level which I remember being quite annoying. It's one of the Unleashed ones. There's just me not really jiving all that well with the Unleashed level design, which is a shame because that's a game I do kind of want to. Oh, it's this one. Like, hey, it looks like Jungle Joyride, but except it's yeah, the green boost pads basically force you to drift, which no thank you. I don't fancy drifting today. Like, this is like the most backwards way of introducing the drift. It's like, people like the drift from Generations and Unleashed. Shall we bring it back? Sure, how? Oh, you know, we'll just make it into a set piece, basically. Let's just have these special boosters which allow you to drift. I'm sure they'll be placated with that. They weren't. At all. The stages... Yeah. I'm not 100% certain. Is this one of the original ones? I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the original ones. Again, this just makes me wish I was playing Generations instead, because I remember all the fun drifting that you could do in, like, Speed Highway Modern, and it's like, I wish I was playing a good game. There we go, that's all the red rings. One of the... Oh, it's one of the Savannah Unleashed. Right, I see. Okay, I guess I'll just go back and get the S-rank time. May as well not prevaricate about the bush when it comes to getting the emeralds, because I have a feeling that, despite how little time I'm going to be spending here, I'm going to be spending absolutely ages on, arguably the worst part of this whole island experience. I think you already know what it is. I'll key you into it when we get there. Also, this really is just a excellent showcase of how bad Sonic controls are. Just the turning circle after a boost. Just... It's like you want to turn, but instead you just go through a wall, except when you're jumping, in which case you turn too... The turning is too tight. Maybe it's just them again. Mods and whatnot, just making it over precise. Just find yourself overcorrecting a lot. Again, I'm guessing this is one of the mods. Because, like, you can really tell the automation actually making you slow and the mods have you going against... Yeah, exactly. It is a shame, because, once again, after, like, 20 years, you would have thought that we would have found ways of bypassing the automation that we saw in Adventure 1. But unfortunately, it feels as though... maybe the new blood here just thinks that's just the way Sonic is. It's always full of automation, even though... it wasn't really. Yeah, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to just go all the way back to the main... unless I can find some means of just, launching myself. Yeah, just go with some funny tech here. Yeah, we gotta get all the way over there, so, we have ignition and the thrusters go! I did get relatively close, though. I want to try that again. I want to try that again. See if I can... Oh. The blood moon rises once again. Please be careful, Sonic. Yeah, it feels as though we really need to get into the tricks basically at the apex. Yeah, you can really get a fair bit of height doing this. Yeah, fairly certain I already got the Tails thing here, so... guess we're gonna try it one more time. Guess we gotta start from the bottom. As is always the case. As is always the case. Rock launch! Yeah, nothing doing. This is a shame, really. Again. One of those things where navigating this place can be a bit of a pain, because, like, you're basically, like, trapped in the middle of, nowhere, essentially. At least that's how it really feels, whereas, like, you have to go to another island and then go from there in order to get back to the mainland. Like, I'm pretty certain I have to go over here. And what is very clearly supposed to be... there we go. What was very clearly supposed to be a 2D section. That felt sort of alarmingly fast. Yeah, it's right here. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to go over here. Well, so I can get another memory token doing this as well. I suppose another funny thing with regards to Tails, I remember specifically another video character analyses watched recently, where it's like, if Sonic is the wind, what are all the other characters? I mean, obviously we know Knuckles is the mountain, but what does that make stuff for characters like Tails and Amy? And they said that Tails was the clouds, and I couldn't just help but think, I am Sonic's living legacy. Again, it's just like all these, various brain rot tidbits forming into one sort of mass. Okay, so I really gotta get... yeah, here's the train over to the mainland. Again, it's like trying to catch the tube. It's like trying to get all the way across London. We have to go across multiple trains. And except of course here you're less likely to be attacked. You are more likely, however, to fall into the abyss. Yeah, I don't think Again, I'm not entirely certain as to whether this is a mod thing, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the vanilla game. Looking back, yeah, traversal on this island. Yeah, exactly. I think that's another one of my main issues with it. Just the traversal just isn't very good. Rock Lodge! There we go, nailed it. And now I have to go basically all around the world. Like, you can sort of... I was sort of dreading coming to this particular island, mostly just because I remember a lot of bad stuff about it. Yeah, it's all just coming back to me now. This is not good. Okay, let's see if this particular stage has anything interesting to go by. Obviously, I don't think I need to go to all... It's one thing I do gotta appreciate, the fact where it's like... Since it's obviously basically a big sort of, demo, essentially... Well, I think that... Yeah, I think this is Savannah Citadel. I remember this one, at the very least, being kind of annoying. To get all the red rings, at the very least. Also, you can tell it's Sonic Unleashed because there's a whole bunch of spikes just in the middle of the road. You won't get that in Colors. You won't get that in Generations. I always starting to remember the, the S rank here also being kind of strict. At least relatively speaking. And it's like you can also tell just how many, you can tell this is an Unleashed stage, just the sheer amounts of varied paths we have. It's like, look, there's one in the background there, there's one in the foreground. I don't think I necessarily need to get all the red rings here, right? Yeah, you can kind of tell this is just Savannah Citadel, mostly just because of this part. You remember this part, right? Again, just wish I was playing a better game. It is kind of funky, honestly, because I remember back a couple of years ago, and possibly even now, people just glazing this game to high hell and back. I'm fairly certain a lot of it was mostly just the recency bias, but the amount of glow up this game still gets, it's kind of concerning. Yeah, you see? I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave. I just realized I don't really want 100% this game again, so I'm just gonna leave. Like, I got plenty of... I'm fairly certain I got enough keys already, and even if I don't, fairly certain I could just go to a better stage. Oh, never mind. We got all the keys we need. Suppose it is a fitting place for an emerald to be. Yeah, I think aside from memory tokens, we basically got everything we need. Aside from that annoying bird thing just constantly shooting at me. I will admit, just platforming around the mountain area here, I remember that this whole thing feeling a fairly bit precarious. Also, yeah, this really is trying to get all the way across London. This feels so convoluted. Also, ow. Can I just quickly side loop you? Oh, I can't believe it. They fly now. You see, they fly now. You get it? It's the pinnacle of comedy. They fly now. They fly now. No, seriously, you don't get it. They fly now. Why aren't you laughing? Don't you understand that this is peak comedy gold right here? They fly now. They fly now. Okay. Fairly soon, this is just another boost pad. Yep. Yep, that is certainly a Def Egg Sentinel. Nice to know that we got monikers for them now, except for the one in Forces. which didn't look like a Death Egg robot at all. It was called Death Egg Robot. Did we actually get a proper name for that at any point from Flynn? Apparently that line somehow popped out weeks before the film actually came. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if that were the case. That doesn't surprise me at all. Oh, so yeah, here's puzzle apparently. Just Mario Party minigame. Again, this just makes me wish I was playing Secret Rings instead. Well, I suppose I'm thinking when it comes to writing, something else has been on my mind a little bit. Oh, hey, there's a little Sage thing there. Let's go talk to Sage real quick, why don't we? I don't think we necessarily have to do any of the, the cyberspace stages anymore, so it's just a case of running around in little circles. Yep. It feels as though I got plenty of, spanners and stuff. Can I not talk to you? Hey, hey, lady! Lady, I'm talking to you here! Lady! There's no prompt for the ape. Yep, here's another one. I'm not well, there's some more spanners here, so let's see if she'll talk to me now. Her chatbot is down. There we go. Just need some more spanners in order to fix it. Yeah, I'm just thinking as well with regards to the comics. Something that's been on my mind for a while, admittedly. That being, how much Sonic Team actually knows about the Archie run. Because I'm fairly certain they basically paid it no mind until basically the Penders lawsuit. Basically just let's assume it was just like, yeah, there's a Sonic comic over there, just let it do its own thing. But I can't help but wonder. I am genuinely curious. Do you think Izuka knows at all about Penders' writing quirks? Does he know about the Holocaust poem? That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to ask. I want to see what Izuka's reaction would be to Ken Penders putting a Holocaust poem in the Knuckles comic. I need to know his thoughts on that. Like, I need to know what the added implications are behind Penders adding that to the comics. Anyways, hey Tails. Okay, so they just call it a Death Egg robot. How very imaginative. I do kind of like the prospect of like different models of Death Egg robot, just sort of add a little bit of extra variety to them. It's like if you're gonna mass produce them like that, then you may as well give them a fair few extra sort of variations and designations, like a Death Egg robot sniper, for instance, just carrying a massive rail cannon. It's like you can go a lot of directions with this and have it be actually cool. Like have giant kaiju versions of the hard-boiled heavies. That'd be pretty awesome. You know, if you're basically not beating the allegations of being creatively bankrupt, you may as well go all the way with that. Sweet. Listen, this is another thing that I don't necessarily like about the later rounds as well. You see all these treasure chests and you're sort of conditioned to be like, ooh, goodies, and yet they use basically the exact same symbol to indicate boost pads and springs and whatnot, but you need for more automated sections. This is like... It's like getting razor blades in your Halloween candy. Sure, they have Cliff Notes version of most of the stuff they'd have to... Oh, hey, it's Nier Automata. Almost forgot this is... Almost forgot. Yeah, they're not beating the Nier Automata copy allegations here. Like, this is sort of the most obvious indication of that. Because I'm fairly certain Nier Automata basically just has these shoot-'em-up sections as well, basically, which are basically just Ikaruga. Yeah, somehow... Yeah, I know about Ikaruga. And that's basically all I know. Back from the Yeon Achievement Hunter days. I wonder if this is gonna come up at any point. I wonder if this, the fact that we have this whole new mode of gameplay added to us, I wonder if it means anything. Oh, there we go. He's firing his laser. Sonic, you star-spangled bonehead! You ruined the national monument! It's like, these ruins are like millions of years old. They're like priceless, and Sonic just takes a death beam to them.
でも気をつけて。エッグマンのロボットを倒した何者かがまだいるかも。
そうだな。
Did we actually get any explanation as to what destroyed the Death Egg robot here? I don't remember. I think there are implications that it was basically the big bad, but he's still locked in cyberspace, isn't he? Oh, I'm guessing it. I just remembered. I'm guessing it's just the island's defenses. It's like they could knock the super out of Sonic. I'm fairly certain they could rip the Death Egg robot a new one. Another idea of these ruins being built is ingenious. Ancient making his gamer cave. Yeah, it's like, what were they up to down here? Hold up, I need my speed highway. I need my speed. I'm led to assume at the very least this is the Generations version. Again, it may just be the mods. I can't tell what is supposed to be intentional and what isn't. Oh yeah, and we have this whole, this cave is not a natural formation. I mean, I will admit, this whole segment is kind of cool, but honestly, I still kind of prefer how it is in Shad Gens, because obviously, with it being an actual stage, it's less resource intensive, so they can actually put focus on actually making it look and play good, as opposed to here, where it's like adding all these resources to try and just make it so slipshod. Just in hindsight, you can really tell that they basically had no creative vision for this game for like up until like there was only like a year left of development time left. Like basically up until Kishimoto showed up, there was basically no creative vision for this game, which sort of leads me to wonder, why bother making it in that sense? I mean, obviously, people say that Kishimoto is basically the new god of Sonic for basically redeeming this game, but you just gotta remember, his repertoire persists of working on directing Forces, Colors, and Lost World as well. It's like, he only has like a 1 out of 4 track record. His track record only consists of one good game. Yeah, clearly. Because obviously all the floating platforms and whatnot weren't originally supposed to be there. There was one there was a something else here. This one, this was the island with Big's fishing trip. Oh, there's no map here. Okay, let's just have a look around. I'm fairly. Is this it? No, this isn't it. It's like I could have sworn this was the fishing island, but I'm fairly certain it's more sort of out of the way. Whatever though. Time for the next Chaos Emerald. I should think at the very least we're doing pretty good in terms of memory tokens. Give me your goodies. Give me the Cherry Jolly Rancher. Or is it straw? What flavor do you think the Chaos Emeralds are? Because this is sort of a funny thing, because I remember back in the day, back when I was a youngin', really getting into the weeds with the prospects of all the Chaos Emeralds having distant, you know, having unique powers and elements to them. Well, I say mostly elements. Again, this was like 20 years prior to Superstars. Now I kind of wonder what flavor they'd all be. Like, would the green Chaos Emerald be apple? Would the yellow Chaos Emerald be like lemon? Oh, like, would the green Chaos Emerald be apple or lime, do you reckon? I think that's the main thing. Anyways, hey Tails.
どうした？
The ultimate weapon! It's the Silver Chaos Emerald Mystery. I'm gonna say that one's vanilla. You know, that's just sort of, I was gonna say sort of milquetoast color, but, you know, it's just vanilla. That seems appropriate, given the sort of more neutral color of the Grey Emerald. Also, yeah, I call it the Grey Emerald. It's like, sure, some people may call it the Silver Emerald, some may call it the White Emerald. I just didn't call it the Grey Emerald out of habit from when I was a kid, because that's what it was in the Sonic comic, in the Fleetway timeline, basically. You know, maybe that's an idea. Maybe, for Sonic Sundays, taking a break from the games, maybe this might be the opportune time to actually, start reading one of the comics. You know, just sort of do a live reading of it, you know, sort of have a little bit of a laugh at it. I can imagine it being a fun time. Oh, Squid's back. Oh, I already beat this one because it was the Blood Moon. Now I remember, we gotta do this annoying thing, just... Tails? There we go. Again, amazing how Sonic can just stand right next to a boiling lake of lava without so much as bursting into flames. You think at the very least parts of his shoes would have melted at this point. Alright, time to collect all the parts. I remember this whole thing being quite annoying. And then again, I have a better homing attack now, so... It is what it is. Yep, you gotta gather up all the Lego pieces. Gotta gather up all these... The draw distance on these seems kind of shorter, admittedly. Oh no. The whole thing is sinking right beneath me. I just remembered. I don't think these will fall into the lava, surely. And mainly this is starting to remind me a little bit of, oh, okay, so they just fall in. I was gonna say, this does sort of remind me a little bit of the end of Power Plant from Heroes. Gee, Lois, it's like that time we were in a better video game. Is basically how I feel at the moment. It's like I really gotta stop comparing, because it's only gonna bring me more misery. And I feel when it comes to Chaos Island, that's by no means in short supply. Also, I better hurry up. Come on, give me all your Lego parts. Your hugs and your kisses, too. Jeez. Yeah, generally speaking, all things considered, I do remember of the challenges in this particular level also being quite egregious, all things considered. Like, this isn't the worst one. The worst one I'd still say is yet to come. There we go. There we go. That's all the parts. And there we go. The apple-flavored Chaos Emerald. You know, I may as well give it to Apple. You know, it's just give it a little bit of nice representation in that regard. Yosh. Also, I do find it kind of cute that this Coco just has aviator goggles on, even though it's like a bajillion years old. Did aviator goggles... I'm guessing they had aviator goggles back when the Ancients came from, but still, it's just funny. Like, these things are supposedly a bajillion years old, and yet those goggles are pristine! It's like there's not so much of the crack, there's no dust on them. Blaming himself, I wonder where they're going with this. I will admit, the Coco's eyes and just Coco in general, like their eyes and whatnot, I always found sort of unsettling. Like they're supposed to be like rock. So this arc, yeah, the arc is essentially the same. Generally, when it comes to the Japanese script, I feel sort of Amy and Knuckles and basically Tails has the least changes to him as far as I'm aware. Compared to, obviously, Knuckles, which is basically the exact opposite of how his arc is in the English dub, and Amy, who's actually in character. Like, Tails is the one who's least different. The one that's going to be interesting here, actually, is probably going to be Sage. As this is where, we get to see Sage's character arc sort of, begin to bloom. I think I wasn't supposed to... Game, can I turn this boat around, game? Turn the boat around! Okay, we made it. At what point did I feel that JP is arguably worse because he lacked the character conversations? Yeah. It's like I mostly went with this mostly due to consistency's sake, because obviously, I do tend to prefer the Japanese scripts in any case, but... Here I was thinking this one would be better, because... I suppose just me wanting to stick it to Flynn, but... Well, I guess, there is some redeemable stuff in here. I mean, it was just the case that they just had to work with what they were given, and what they were given really didn't. I'm trying to make good on the Japanese writing here. Just, I was like, I want this to be better. Also nice they just give us a whole bunch of free screws basically when we need them. We're going for Amy Knuckles' characterization of the GP. Yeah, okay, so I guess it's just there is some good here. You find the open world in Sonic Frontiers boring or fun? Honestly, kind of dull, especially in repeat playthroughs. Like, especially if the streaming, I just feel as though it's not necessarily what I'm looking for in this series. Because at least with the hub worlds in Adventure, they were more contained and you can get around them a lot quicker. They're more just sort of a stage for the story to happen. I was like Tails most left alone because the arc itself was fine and it was a good direction. Yeah, good direction is one thing. Also, he's just politely waving as Sonic is just limping away and dying. Boo. Nothing personnel, kid. It's like, direction is one thing, execution is another. It's one thing to say, oh, we promise we're gonna make Tails better, just you wait and see, and then just never deliver. It's the delivery I'm waiting for. Like, I want to see him actually be able to punch Shadow in the face. You know, to get back for all the times that Shadow just laid him out across all the various types of media. Find the story interesting or a bit weak? I feel as though mostly it's trying to be basically a big apology letter for Forces, but as a standalone story, I feel it doesn't really hold up. So generally speaking, not much actually happens until basically Rhea Island. Here it's just basically the first Rhea Islands I feel are mostly just damage control for Amy, Knuckles, and Tails for the most part. I wasn't paying attention to the cutscene, sorry. Anyways, well, Sonic was here to not notice Tails having an interview with a ghost girl at all, for that matter, so... Like, again, with Sage's design, you can definitely tell a lot of inspiration from this game came from Nier Automata. Just saying. Largely the same as US... Yeah. Sonic were real, what do you think he would do? Basically the same as he always does, just go on adventures. I mean, that's the funny thing, right? Originally, the whole character concept of Sonic was that he very much could be real. It's just that he's so fast that you'd never see him. I feel that sort of, let's just say I don't necessarily see him getting, too involved in the world's politics. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy who'd really be all that interested in that sort of thing. Just more mechanical with the words. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, where are we going now? Not now, Squid. Nope, no more jump scares for you. Oh, it's gotta go over there and get the, just casually standing over there next to the next emerald. Can I get over there? Does the combat system feel easy or challenging? It feels... I'm just gonna be honest, when it comes to Sonic games, me personally, I'm not someone who's all too fond of combat. It generally feels as though they really wanted to try and make a Devil May Cry system, but didn't really work all that well. I'd say with regards to the base game, it's relatively easy, all things considered, but when it comes to Final Horizons adding the perfect parry, you can sort of tell that the game wasn't really designed with that in mind initially, so it's like, we have this clunky battle system, we're adding this parry mechanic which doesn't fit at all. Good luck. I understand this is another one of the hidden Coco missions. Again, these are sort of some of the one. Oh. I feel, generally speaking, these are some ones I find more interesting, really. Like, look at this whole thing, where it's like... Admittedly, this sort of thing does sort of remind me of a lot of the various missions in Adventure 2, like the Lost Chow missions. Which, I'm just gonna say right now, just regardless of thoughts when it comes to Adventure 2, gameplay-wise, I still genuinely think it has the best mission structure and all-around content suite in the entire series. Repetitive? Yeah, it is also repetitive. Which boss did you find the hardest? Mostly, from what I recall, Rifle Beast, the End Supreme. Mostly just getting the timing right. I mean, once you figure out that you're supposed to side-loop the thing, and then in order to get rid of the cord, it becomes relatively simple. But it's before you find out that's how you do that. Then Rifle Beast sort of just becomes a complete pain. That's and getting the perfect parry down right. It's just... It's like... The Rifle Beast is kind of cool, in that they wanted to make it like a proper combat scenario, and I suppose, ironically, that sort of makes it the worst fight in the game. My favorite, personally, is Wyvern, though. Mostly just from a spectacle standpoint. And I feel it's the one which actually makes good use of the combat system. Also, it says to talk to Tails, but Tails is not here. Okay, so that joke's still remaining intact. It's nice to see him actually refer to it as a goal rig, though. That just really brings me back to Adventure 2. What would you like to see in the next Sonic game? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I really need to get my thoughts straight on that. Oh, that's basically the same line from Black Knight. My story ends when I stop running. I mean, obviously, when it comes to various Sonic games, I've basically been waiting 20 years for a game that's like Adventure 2, but honestly, as time has gone on, I feel as though what I'd like to see from the next Sonic game is like a multitude of different... Oh, hey, Sage. Ha! Yeah, but we still got those references on other games you like to play. You know, generally speaking, I like to go more into, well, streaming currently Pokemon games for certain Final Fantasy I'm starting to get more into with Crisis Core. Metal Gear's been surprisingly entertaining so far. Even if that one end fight was kind of egregious. Anyways, with regards to elements I'd like to see in future games, one stuff that comes to mind is aesthetic and level design more on par with Sonic CD. Mostly just adding an extra emphasis on platforming and more sort of being more methodical with it to sort of reward speedruns and skillful play. Mission structure, obviously I'd want to be more in line with Adventure 2, and generally speaking, I'd want a more sort of faithful adaptation of the classic games. Specifically against CD. Game taste... Yeah, generally speaking, I'm more sort of someone who's increasingly going back and playing older and older games, so get used to that. Mostly play nice, nice. Admittedly, the Scrolls game... Not the Scrolls game, the Souls-like games were never exactly my wheelhouse. There we go, give me the Lemon Stone. Oh no, Robotnik suddenly doesn't have his Eggmobile for some reason. Ever played Elden Ring? Unfortunately, no. Behold, I have psychic powers now, apparently. Silver fans having another depressive episode. What are you talking about, Doctor? It's... Yeah, just, again, Souls-likes were never exactly my wheelhouse, unfortunately. I mean, I do certainly get the appeal nowadays, it's just, not exactly my cup of coffee. Oh boy, I think it's time for the, infamous... Yeah, it's time for the infamous bridge section, the infamous bridge mission. Hope you're ready, Silver fans kicking and screaming in the insane asylum. No, you don't understand! He's peak! He'll absolutely solo the entire cast if you let him! Listen to me! You know, it's a shame as well, because... Honestly, I don't dislike Silver, it's just funny just seeing how he's basically just been thrown to the wayside so much. Again, it's just like if, Raiden never got the MGS4 treatment. It was basically just stuck as MGS3 Raiden, which we will get into eventually. I do plan on covering the Secret Theater once we finish MGS, once we finish Sneak Eater. Anyways, it's time for that scene. It's the scene we've all been waiting for. Have any plans to stream this week? Well, it's Sunday, so... Tomorrow is going to be more Pokemon Vanguard, and then more Crisis Core Friday, Sneak Eater Saturday, more Frontiers on next Sunday. That's basically how we're doing it now. It's Final Fantasy Friday, Sonic Sundays, Pokemon Mondays, and then just free space on Saturday. Alright, it's time for that scene. Oh, my kidneys. I'm going to set up for your pals and switch to other schedule. Yeah. I'm definitely going to have to take some time out to actually figure those out. Ah, they call them the Six Demons here. Trying to make them actually seem, threatening. Model thanks. I know Vel worked especially hard on it. Thank you, Vel. You can fly with your ass. No, it was Vel in the chat here. He's really starting to get into this wholesale. Anyways, it's time for the worst part of the entire game, arguably. In saying that, probably second worst.
跳ね橋が動かないって。
早速お前の出番だぜ、相棒。
So instead of simply jumping across, it's time for an annoying skydiving section. I remember wholeheartedly just struggling with this section a lot. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Here goes. Yep, you basically just gotta go for all the rings. I'm fairly certain there is an optimal way of going about this, but I'm not certain as to what that would be. It's like, it's one of the main things that I don't necessarily remember. Nope, that was the right one. That was the right one, game. Yeah, hurry up. I'm trying, game. I'm trying. This section sucks. "20 seconds. Game. Oh. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I remember. So for verbatim repeat, I say one with the things only I can do pretty much it was a little... Yeah. Or at least I'm fairly certain it was impression to be different to the Japanese, to the US script. I will admit though, it does sort of make the whole promise of Tales actually improving in future games sort of feel a little bit more hollow in that respect. Just... again, sort of repeating the sort of implications from 20 years ago. Finally, yeah, just, I do kinda want... do you reckon the light blue one might be mint flavored? I could see it being peppermint. Yeah, in future. What flavors? No way. What flavors? No way. Well, we all know where. So it's like if the sky blue emerald goes missing, we know what happened to it. Tails, do you know what happened to the blue chaos emerald? Tails with just a chaos emerald shaped bulge in his throat. Nope. Still have no context to that symbol up there. Has to be cotton candy flavor. Yeah, I can kind of see that as well. That's sort of a weird one, honestly. The fact that they just insist that cotton candy is basically always assumed to be light blue. Yeah, let me just bring it back to the default. You know, we've had enough good music for one day. This game isn't suitable for it. Oh, it's this segment with Fortress again, right. We don't actually need to... I was gonna say, we don't actually need to be here. Yeah, the main annoying thing I remember about Fortress now is that, basically, as long as he's around, you're unable to fast travel. And you have to go a long way from him until you're able to de-aggro and then fast travel. And all this now... I'm kind of in the middle of something here. Then again, I have been asked that plenty of times, so... I suppose there is a demand for it. Wow, it's actually one of these quick step Dance Revolution segments is actually kind of challenging. In that there's actually, like, multiple panels. Sonic would kill a well, yeah. He'd kill it so much that he'd just break the... Also, what happened to the... Oh, there we go. I was gonna ask what happened to the camera. Yeah, he killed a DDR so much he'd basically just, destroy the dance mat. I don't think I was supposed to end up here. Nice. Arrival to Mozart breaking it down on a DDR pad. I'm fairly certain that's a meme that I am not wholly aware of, but Mozart on a DDR pad kind of sounds, wild. I'm guessing it's more sort of like the whole, one with Beethoven and the burning piano. At least I'm assuming that was Beethoven. Or at least supposed to be. Down the mountain we go. Yeah, drop dash admittedly does feel kind of nice here, though. Again, doesn't feel the most balanced. It's just one of those weird things. It's just like, ever since it was added in Mania, it just feels as though it just essentially become a staple of Sonic's movesets. It's like you can't go back and play the older games without having the drop dash now. It's kind of weird. Why does it always feel that Sonic only has speed as his thing and none of the other characters have things that come with a speedy character like enhanced speed? Yeah, that is an interesting question. I think most people just sort of let to assume that he has those just because it comes with the territory, but we never actually see it. Alright, it's time for this scene. Get your hanky-panky chiefs out, ladies and gentlemen. Sure, this has to be more screws. It's not screws. Interesting. Once again, it's another 2D section. Wonderful. Fan art made of your favorite character? Well, suppose that depends on what you'd consider favorite character, because with regards to fan art made of Tails, not really. Not sure I want to get too much into the weeds on it at this particular point in time. We're nearly over with Chaos Island anyways. There we go, got some more screws. Actually, it originated in Sonic 3 Shh! Shh! Yep, it's cleared up his worries until they come back again. Again, this is another thing that I can't help but feel I relate to Tails on. Just the whole overthinking aspect. I tend to do that a lot. Faster underwater. Except there's no actual credence to that in the games, except for the fact that he can swim. I have no hands and I must hug. Scene still makes me happy. Well, yeah. Well, at least with regards to Sonic and Tails just sort of laughing it up there, while Sage just, enters rampancy. I will admit this scene did sort of make me laugh back in the days. Like, oh, we got the sappy music to go along with basically all 2 or 3 scenes of her and Robotnik. Still fun. Yeah. Yeah, it's like they really wanted this to be emotional. It just sort of fell so flat, because it's like we barely got to know this character who tries to act all, ooh, I'm so mysterious, and this is like the only instance we got to see of her. Again, it's sort of like one of those jokes in like a Nuzlocke run you'd see where they have this sort of emotional montage of a Pokemon which dies in the first battle it's in. That's the sort of impression I get. Also, yeah, for some reason I was led to assume this was an indication of her entering rampancy. I mean, that would still be pretty cool, but then again, I'm mostly just going off the, old Marathon / Halo version of rampancy. You know, where she basically becomes a god. That could be pretty cool. Just this rampant godlike AI who is still sort of, feverishly loyal to her creator. Loyal to a fold, as it were. Okay, so... time to get that last emerald. Well, 6th emerald. Fairly certain the way up there should be around here somewhere. This looks promising. I don't think this is it, though. Okay, okay, now I remember. It's all the way over there with that massive Rhine rail just going up into the sky. Yeah, the streamer friend also streams virtually. Yes, 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 yes. I've heard this sort of talk before. It's like, I get it, I get it. It's stuff that needs to be done eventually, and it's going to be done eventually. Alright, so, admittedly, with regards to this section, I don't find it too bad. But at the same time, it's just sort of a sense of, I have no idea what I'm doing, yet it still feels as though I'm getting it right, sort of thing. I suppose that's sort of, paramount to a lot of Sonic games up and since Sonic 2, really. Just sort of rewarding you for doing the bare minimum. Which, honestly, with regards to Sonic games, is something that I don't really want to support, because obviously we've seen how far that goes with the likes of Forces. Just, you know, I want to see, you know, potentially Sonic actually being taken seriously as a platform for once. I feel that would be kind of cool. As opposed to here, it just... At the time of the release, I can't help but feel that Sonic Frontiers was more of a novelty with a lot of general audiences. You know, just like, oh hey, Sonic's got these kind of cool-looking boss fights, I suppose. Okay, and they just moved on with their lives. It was more of a curiosity than anything. Only good streamer to me. Much appreciated, thanks. Just please don't ask me the contact details, I get that a lot. Yep, taking the mystical chaos emeralds and basically turning them into alien fuel cells. Wonderful. Yeah, but I will admit a fair bit of this cyberspace stuff can be, at the very least, kind of interesting. My phone number is private and you will not receive my information, government. There we go, that's the last emerald, so, just gotta go all the way to the volcano and, stalk the tails a little bit. It's time for the worst part of the entire game, oh boy. Aren't you excited? Aren't you excited for arguably the worst part of the entire game? I'm sure not. Time to close out, yippee. Oh, I'm ready, alright. I'm ready. How about you? Wait, Tails turned around without blinking. Yep. Sure gotta love these animations, man. They truly are the best at animating it. Oh. Okay. Yep, it's time. I mean, Sonic sure looks happy about the fact that, yep, it is time for pinball. Arguably the worst pinball in the entire series, aside of maybe Lost World. Actually, I'm fairly certain. I think I might actually prefer the pinball in Lost World, honestly. This feels so ironic to me. This whole thing just feels so ironic to me that they just added a pinball minigame here, and yet, for whatever reason, they won't acknowledge the fact that Sonic was based on pinball. It's like, you got a pinball game right here. It's like, the answer's right here. Just... we want pinball physics, damn it. You know, we want a funny 3D pinball platformer. I can't remember necessarily if the points threshold is any different here. It's just... again, this whole thing can be kind of tedious, especially given the ball can sometimes just glitch out and go somewhere out of your control. It's like... I just can't help but think back to the Casino Night pinball game in Generations and just get more sad, because I remember just how detailed that whole thing was. You know, it was so intricate with and so vibrantly colored, and then you just get this and it just feels so lifeless. Well, I think I'd even prefer Casinopolis to this, because at the very least the pinball was optional. Yep, I guess you just gotta keep your eye on the ball, Tony. A deaf, dumb, and blind kid could do this, Tony. I don't know where I'm going with this. Missed out on 100% the stupid island because I turned on the volcano prior to get something underneath the... oh. Well... oh well, I suppose. I'm probably just gonna delete this save file anyway once I'm done, so... I don't really care. I mean, at the very least, the structure is solid. Again, it's just the actual table itself and the pinball physics themselves are just remember never being all that fond of. That's and the fact that you need to get like 5 million points, sorry. It's like, you think that's enough? Like, this is such a juxtaposition compared to an, the final puzzle on Ares Island, which is literally just a crane game. I mean, obviously, it's a matter of just get the red rings and use them to increase your score threshold so you can get... see, look, we're already halfway there. The main issue is that the score resets, I'm pretty sure, once you, there we go, we've hit the maximum. Yeah, your score multiplier basically resets whenever you lose a ball. Kinda surprised I haven't lost the ball so far, though. I could have sworn this was way worse back when I first played. Oh. There we go, I think we got it. That's it. Just get the ball in the hole. That's your home. There we go. Not playing any games right now, so... oh. Something Spinball did in a month. Pilot. That require them to actually implement proper 2D physics. Something Spinball did in a month. Damn. Like... that is such a damning indictment for this game when you... it's like... you're being outperformed by Spinball. How do you do that? Also, Sonic's trapped in there now. He's dead. So basically, clients, well, hopefully it all goes well for you. Whatever it is you're doing, I won't pry. Yeah, there he is, just sort of casually hiding in the crater there. It's like, man, I was having a steam bath. Spinball is really a testament to the speed of games back in the day. Ah. You know, I never really played all that much of Spinball, to be honest, even though it's on Mega Collection. Just always got spooked by that giant shark thingy at the start of the first level. It's like you end up basically at the bottom of the pool, and then the music pops up, and it's just like, ah. Yeah, so we made this Sonic Spinball game in like 3 months. I hate to imagine how long the Game Gear version took to make then. Yep, according to the series, civilizations may be temporary, but pinball is eternal. Even if it kills me. Fairly certain there's also a fun little discussion you can have with Sage at this point. We just gotta find her. She's somewhere along the crater at the very least. Obviously, it's impossible to tell given where we are. But yeah, I think she's somewhere along the edge of the crater. Just a matter of tracking her down. There she is. Hello, Discount 2B. Hopefully you're not. Hopefully you aren't too rampant yet. I do gotta question why Robotnik gave her the spooky red aura. Like, was that intentional or just a quirk in the programming? Yeah, so we made this isometric 3D game in like 5 months and we have a full set of 3D assets that we wouldn't even digitize it. Yeah, it's just what has happened to game development, man. It's like people were able to crank these out in like 5 months, and now it takes us 5 years in order to get a new game. It's like, what happened? It's like, I can't help but imagine that something's going to change in the gaming industry to make things a little bit more leaner and meaner, and I can't help but feel that the Sonic series will sort of benefit from that. You know, just going for a lot more sort of lean, mean experience. As opposed to making games which are like $1 billion and have to make all the money in the world just to break even. Anyways, it's time to fight the knight. Look at my cool rollerblading tricks. It's like we really are back in the 2000s. With my funky unicorn horn as well, I look so cool and not ridiculous in the slightest. My sword... Yeah, it does sort of remind me of Raiden with the mask on him. It's like, my sword is a tool for justice. Okay, it was just sort of stuck there for a second there. Hey, buddy, you, Ow. Yeah, I remember this being a little bit, tense during the Master King, trial. Mostly just because you were probably, like, super low on rings at this point. He's schmooving on... Yeah. Now it's time for me to schmoove on him. Let's see how Lee likes it. Yeah, there we go. It's time for the song that everybody likes to champion. Hope you're ready with your glow sticks, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to 2007. I just realized this sword is basically the Ivy Valentine one, where it's basically both a sword and a whip. Also, yeah, you could just quick step to get past the shield. Something that you need to learn in order to defeat this on the Master King trial. I'm not afraid of you. Yeah, as soon as you figure out this, it's basically just becomes trivial. Look at that, already half his health is gone and he's smonking. Where you going, huh? As long as you can run out of here. I suppose that's the problem with the knight, but with the rollerblades, he's basically trapped in here. Oh, there we go. Don't have glows because I have time. Yeah, I'm sure that'll do. Yeah, basically, his whole face is basically just an edgy skull, isn't it? Also, I'm fairly certain this won't actually affect the fight at all, except for his funny spinny shield. We basically just have to aim it. I can imagine this being pretty annoying in the Master King trial. Let's do it there. Damn it, I missed. Hold still, you devil. Gotcha. Now say your prayers. Oh! Yeah, it's just... You can really tell they really wanted to go with a Battle Shonen aesthetic for this game for whatever reason. It's like, I still, in hindsight, don't really get why people really wanted the series to be Battle Shonen. Also, get stabbed on spears, idiot. Fun fact, the main inspiration for Elysium. Appreciate the edge, yeah. The Tyler Smith got to come back. Yeah, that is still pretty cool. Also, I gotta say it. Just give me a little bit, Evangelion reference. No, that was earlier on. I need to do the funny thing. I need to set up the bits. Rules of nature! This wants to be Metal Gear Rising so much. Well, I admit, this segment was always pretty cool, though. It's like, hey, you remember Final Fantasy Sonic X? We'll take a look at this. Yeah, that is still pretty good. Note that Sonic will never wield a sword ever again. Kinda surprised it didn't damage the environment in any way, shape, or form doing that. Just basically cleaving the earth in twain. Yeah, that was pretty good. Frieza. Yeah, that... It's like, once again, Sonic stealing all of Silver's material. And there we go, that's Chaos Island done. At least as far as I'm concerned. Didn't even bother with any of the fishing this time around, look at that. Whatever, though. Here we are, back on Kronos Island, because, whilst the game may not be over, the budget certainly is! Silver just crying in the corner sentence someone just sold his old bit. Yeah, there's that. Yeah, we're just back on Kronos Island, except it's not really Kronos Island according to the game. Ooh, how menacing. I'm sure this doesn't have any implications whatsoever. And he's just not Super anymore for whatever reason. It's like, this sort of confuses me because Sonic never got shot out of Super this time around. He's just sort of, not in Super anymore and just here dying. The wheels of fate! Spin them! Wait, is that my name? I do kind of like, admittedly, in the English dub, how he brings up the whole careful, where's the fun in that line from the start, and it comes back here and it's just like, Sonic, you're clearly dying. But anyways, I think that's going to be a good place to stop for now. So tune in next week, where we bring the end to Frontiers at long last. Until then, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Final part next week? Yes. At least that is the plan, so look forward to that. Take care. Bye for now.